Kind sirs and kind madams, you are here for long-term gains, but I'm going to show you how to do this safely because Pulse Chain is awesome. I'm going to here go through my ticks of approval. Yes, I've made multiple videos on this, but get it through your head. If you get this wrong, you're finished. You are finished. Every dollar you work for, yeah, halve it. Okay, so let's go through these yield farms. If you watch my previous video, I've gone through the instructions and the risks and everything you need to know. Watch it 3, 4, 5 times if you have to, because every single thing I said will be timeless. None of it changes. Now, this is super safe. I'm going to give this 3 ticks. 3 ticks of friendship. This farm is PulseX to Pulse. The ratio, I believe, won't change that much. Let's go through each one, because you're a baby doll, baby cake, and you're outsider like me. You need somebody to tell you what's going on, all right? So I have done an impermanent loss calculator, and I've shown it to you before. The impermanent loss on this is nothing. Like someone said, like even if, so the impermanent loss is because you lock in liquidity, if the price deviates down or if it deviates up, you'll lose a bit extra of your coins. That's what the impermanent loss number is. It could be 5%, it could be 7%, but the yield makes up for it. So if this ratio goes up to like 0.5 and you're in the yield farm, you lose nothing, man. Who cares? It's nothing. Like, I'm going to show you like this, okay? I'm going to show you how much you lose. Wow, 40% deviation. I'm going to show you. I'm going to type in impermanent loss calculator. Calculate for you right now. Go to CoinGecko. We're doing this live because you're a baby doll, baby cake. Do you remember that number, 40%? Look at this, okay? I'm going to show you. Let's say PulseX goes a 10x, and let's say Pulse does a 14x, okay? Look at your impermanent loss, man. Your impermanent loss is 1.19%. That is nothing, okay? Nothing. That's tiny. Even if I make it 24x, it's only 7.8%. That is nothing. And you want to ask me, hey, what do you mean it's nothing? I'll tell you why it's nothing, because look at your APR, man. Look at your APR. What you can do is you'll calculate every day how much you earn, okay? You'll divide this number by 365. So you'll do 46% divided by 365 per day. You get 0.12%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that by 7. You go, oh, I earned 0.88% in a week. So if I just roll that forward for like, remember, this is going to take 2 years. If you just roll that forward for 6 months, okay, so you have like 26 weeks, you've made 22%. So remember, in this impermanent loss calculator, you've only lost 7.8% here. So this is why this is super safe. I'm giving this the triple tick of approval. Very hard to get a triple tick of friendship here. So this is super safe, but these yields are probably going to go lower. Okay, they're going to go lower, but it is okay. It's still worth participating in it. It still is, okay? I want to remind you again, if this ratio goes up or it goes down, don't panic. You just got to hold. You just got to hold. Don't look at numbers. Don't look at the individual counts you have. Just keep accumulating your ratio. That's why I keep telling you, man, you're only going to make it in this game if you hold to 2025 with me. Okay, so that's super safe. That's why if you lose all your money in this, it's on you. Okay, I'm in the yield farm, but I'm telling you now, these things aren't perfect. Okay, they can scare you from time to time. The ratios go up or down. You think, oh, what if I sold? The yield's good, man. Rick Hard knows exactly what he's doing, okay? This is, I'm going to give you big X. I don't even want to look at it, okay? Under no circumstances are you to be a subscriber of my channel and be in any of these absolute trash fiat pools, okay? And very quickly, why? If you have $10,000 and you say, hey, I'm going to put half of it into Pulse, okay, so you put 5K into Pulse, and then you put 5K into DAI, which is USD, okay? Any of these USD auto applies, okay? What happens if Pulse goes 10x? You now have 50K here, what you think you have, right? But this is still worth 5K, okay? But actually, if you go and calculate on the impermanent loss, which I'm going to show you right now, DAI will stay at 0. And what happens if the other one does a 10x? You've lost 44% of your coins, Habib. 44% of everything you work for is gone because you're a poopy head. So you don't actually have 50K. You got more like 25K and 5K. So look at this. Look at this. Because you wanted to be an idiot, you've only got 30K. So remember, you've only got 30K here. Okay? You've only got 30K. And you think, oh, that'd be greedy. What's wrong with 30K? What's wrong with 30K? is you are not a baby doll baby cake. You're not listening to me. If you took that 5K from DAI and instead of chasing short-term carrots, you put it into PLS, you'd have a 10x on 10K. You would have 100K. That's how much you'd have. Congratulations. Okay. Look at that. Look at that disgusting deviation here. 30K to 100K. Just imagine you're 3x bigger than that. That's disgusting. 90K to 300K. These numbers, do you understand why? This is why I don't want to see you touching any of these stupid fiat money. Let everybody call us bulltards and dumb and too optimistic and naive. Let them call us that. I don't care about that, all right? Forget it. If you're going to play in this game, you're going to waste your time. You're going to get crushed. Cross here, okay? Now, what about eHEX and Pulse? This is okay, but yes, I know you're looking at this 600% APR. You're like, oh, wow, if it just stays high, they don't stay high. They don't stay high, okay? They don't stay high. All the vultures come. And you say, oh, well, at what price will the vultures keep eating it? I promise you, the vultures will come as long as this thing is above 10%. I'm not kidding. The degenerates will go to the lowest ends of the earth, more than you can believe. That's what they do. Okay, the game is not to freaking try do all these leverage yield farms. Even though this is great, the game is long-term holding. Okay, so eHEX and Pulse. You can actually find this. You can actually want to find Hex from Ethereum. Okay, but this is Hex from Ethereum and Pulse. Here it actually is here. We're going to have a look at this ratio because our impermanent loss is, you want to know the thoughts. You like, subscribe, bell button, all. You want to know what's the risk of this deviating. Now, when you go into this default, this is the US dollar price. You have to click on this button up here. Switch to WPLS. Okay, so now you're going to see, you're going to have to zoom in. Okay, zoom in and don't let it move heaps. So this is what it is. It's gone sideways. I think this thing will keep going sideways. Okay. So your impermanent loss isn't that great, isn't that bad? Okay, so it's pretty good. But at the end of the day, remember this is eHEX to Pulse. I'm actually going to invert this. Okay, just to let you know, this is a risk. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. Okay, because Pulse PLS equals cycle 1. Okay, Hex equals cycle 2. Okay. Cycle 1 coins usually pump harder than cycle 2 because they're new and they're fresh and they get new people in and we're like, woo! Okay, that's normally what happens. I don't know if that's going to happen now, but I'm just playing out the cards here for you. That is a risk. But let's be honest. In our Ricardo Corazon ecosystem with Hex and Pulse Chain, do we think PLS is going to go up 10x and Hex is only going to go up a 2x? Okay. You might say to me, hey, that's a big number. So now what we should do is let's go calculate the impermanent loss in this calculator. Let's say Hex did let's say Hex went up 200%, but Pulse did 1,000%. Look, impermanent loss is 18%. Okay. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world if you already own both of these coins. If you already own it's not the end of the world because you can go back to the farm, 18%. I want you to know, because this is what you got to know, okay? If you are earning, okay, let's see this 590. What I like to do is just drop it down because these things go down super fast. Let's do 500% divided by 365. You earn about 1.3% a day. So you only got to kind of survive for like 12 days. And then, see this number, 16%? What you've done is you have earned this in INC. And what you have done is you every day can just dump it and just accumulate like PLS or Hex or half and half. That's what you can do. And you will cover this impermanent loss of 17%. Isn't that great? That's exactly the point. But look, Ricardo knows this and these yields don't last. We're still early. I'm not going to be making these videos forever. I've explained this so many times. This is all my friends and family just so everybody understands the tutorials on what to do. And now you get to see how it transpires. Okay? So I'm not going to give this 3 ticks, but I'm going to give this a tick. This is still cool. You can still do this, okay? What about WETH from Ethereum? So Ethereum and Pulse. I'm going to give this a big fat X, okay? Consider Ethereum just like a stable coin. Because if you go back, look at this impermanent loss, okay? So let's say you're in this farm. Let's say Pulse does like a 13x and Ethereum does... Ethereum's not going to do a like 3x from here. It will do what? Maybe a double. okay, so Ethereum goes from like 1800 to 3600, your impermanent loss is 33%. Disgusting. You shouldn't have any Ethereum, by the way. You shouldn't have any Ethereum, just to let you know. So you shouldn't even be in this pool. You see, this is Ethereum. You should not be in this pool. If you had $5,000 of Ethereum and $5,000 of Pulse, you should just literally take that Ethereum and just buy Pulse. That's it. That's what you should do. Or take that Ethereum, buy PulseX here, and then just farm it. You can do that. Or take that Ethereum, okay, buy Hex and farm this. You see the point? Just don't have any Ethereum. I give this an X, okay? I'm gonna give this a nice, big, fat, disgusting X. This is a stable coin. This is a sin to even look at as well. What about this yield farm? Hex from Ethereum, and so this is eHEX, pHEX, okay? This is, I'm gonna give it 2 ticks. This is good. You can do this. Because, look, if you asked me before Pulse Chain launch, I'm like, oh man, this is so risky. Anything can happen. But, look at this liquidity, man. And look, I'll be honest here, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think someone who may or may not be a Greg is going to back this. He might be backing it right now. He just might not be staked. Do you see? So this liquidity, I think this is the people participating in the yield farm. You can stake to support the spread, but he can then choose not to participate in the yield farm and take our yield rewards, which is really his, right? He can do that. That's way to support it and just to keep everyone in the game to believe in it. That's one way to do it. All these cool little mechanics that I've got here figured out for you. So I give this 2 ticks. So if you have eHEX and pHEX, you can do this. Now, of course, you're going to say, oh, but what about the bridge? What about the bridge? Well, you see your pHEX? You can go and trade your pHEX, okay? You can convert half into eHEX and then pool it and join this. That's okay. Because they're lining up together. I'm going to show you the spread because you say to me, hey, I know I'm a baby doll baby cake, but I want to have a look at the actual spread chart between them, please. Okay, so we're going to have to look for Hex from Ethereum. So sometimes it's pretty hard to see. Here we go. This is it. This is it. eHEX to Hex. Hex from Ethereum. We're going through this. And what you want to see is a very nice horizontal chart. This is it. I know this is a bit short term, but we're so new, friends. So eHEX to Hex. This is USD. All right, so we want to switch to up here. See this? We want to switch to it. This is what you're looking at, okay? This original part was everybody paper handing. This was, the clogging and like, oh, mysteriously, guys, we expected 12 million people to join Pulse Chain, but someone decided to choose a bridge that could only process 100 people at a time every few hours. Golly gee. That was this mess, by the way, okay? So... Shout out to all my baby dolls who know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is pretty good. This is the ratio you want to look at. You see this number? This is eHEX divided by Hex. It's about 1.1. So obviously we want this to just stay around 1 here, but I swear this impermanent loss is so small. It's nothing. Like think about this, okay? This will be impermanent loss. Like what would be the worst case of the eHEX to pHEX? To me, it would be if eHEX did a 10x, but pHEX or the other, right, did a 30x. Look at your impermanent loss. Habibti Albi, look at this. 12%. That's nothing. You only lose 12% of your coins after 2 years. Look at you earning, man. Okay, by the way, like I said, I know these yields drop. Don't think, oh, wow, I'm just going to earn this for a year. No. These yields going to drop down to like 10%. People are going to keep joining it. But let's do something. I'm going to assume this farm gets destroyed immediately. I'm going to assume that the farm is only 300%. Okay, so I'm going to do 300% divided by 365. Remember, each time we get the yield, APR, when you see APR here, divided by 365, and you'll find out how much yield you're earning per day, if that stayed the same. So I'm doing a conservative number now. I should do 900, but I'm going to be conservative here. And the number I get is 0.82%. So all you got to do is literally sit in here for 14 days. 14 days, you have earned 11.5% of yield. You can earn the yield every day, rotate it to half of it eHEX, half of it pHEX every single day. And then what you've done is you've covered your impermanent loss. Look, your permanent loss was 12%. You're like, yeah, I covered my impermanent loss. That's right. So effectively, if you got that yield and you bought it for yourself and then eHEX went 10x and pHEX went 30x, you made your money. You made your money. You actually lose nothing. You lost 12% impermanently, right, which is actually permanent, but you made it in the yield already. That's the whole game here, okay? But I just got to stress to you, it doesn't last forever, okay? So we have, remember these, we're ticking the ones that we approve of. Hex and Pulse, we'll give it a tick as well. You can do this as well, but understand that it's going to be the same game as before, where it's the exact same thing, okay? It's basically where Hex is cycle 2, Pulse is cycle 1. It's a new kid on the block. It's more sexy. It's got a new wig. You know, it shaves its underarms here and there, knows how to use lipstick. All these things, calm these bells and whistles, they might add to the fact that more people might come in and buy Pulse over Hex. But I just think about it. I don't think Ricardo's going to let Hex stray along too far. But he's also a man who lets the free market show its hand first. So don't think it's going to guarantee you gains. It just might mean you're not going to go to zero. Do you get what I mean? It's kind of like if the market really wants to push up Pulse to Hex, right? If the market really wants to push it up, where when you see this, like this ratio, okay? So if it really wants to push this up over time, he'll probably let it, and then he'll find a way to kind of bring it back. So, but don't rely on this. Don't rely on this. It's still a tick of friendship, okay? These I'm gonna have to give. I don't know what to draw with them. I'm gonna have to draw like a very vague symbol. Probably have to just draw an apple, okay? An apple. An apple because this is the forbidden fruit, okay? On one hand, INC is the dump token, okay? Put it in a nutshell. On the other hand, Richard Hart is a billionaire, and I swear to God, if he knows what he's doing, friends. He knows what he's doing. What do you think makes the most little sense to pump in this ecosystem? It's this coin here, okay? Therefore, if you've been in crypto long enough, you know, all right, so this thing's going to have big fat green candles then for absolutely no reason at all. And I swear to God, I promise, I made a tweet like this, and literally a few hours later, you had big, fat, green, absolute, there's just cucumbers to the moon. Wow, there's cucumbers to the moon. So don't rely on it. Don't rely on it. The whole point of this is to bond everything together, okay? Actually, I'm going to leave these. These are forbidden fruit. So you can choose to play with these with a bit of size. I wouldn't. Personally, if I were you, I wouldn't. I would rather you do this, okay? I would rather you, if you're earning yield here, and you're earning yield here, right? So you're earning yield PulseX Pulse. This is eHEX Pulse. This is pHEX Pulse. This is pHEX Pulse. Yeah. So all of these, right? So eHEX Pulse, pHEX Pulse, whatever. If you earn these eHEX, pHEX, sorry, they're all fine. Whenever you earn the yield, don't do the trap. You know what the trap move is in all of these yield farms? It's this, okay? Whenever people start earning money, they start getting greedy. So instead of, so here you are, right? Here you are farming. Here's your farmer hat, okay? You are farming and here's your fork, okay? What people do is, this is the farm, okay? They get the farm. Instead of putting their money into their wallet, which is what you should be doing, that's using incentive token to rotate to Pulse or Hex and just buy it for the future. Instead of doing that, what people do is they go into another farm, okay? And this is where it becomes a danger sign. That's what they normally do. That's what it would be here, okay? Now, I'm not saying, look, I have full faith in Ricardo to pull this off and somehow this doesn't get anybody wrecked. But I just want you to know this is the danger move is actually this. I would feel more comfortable because a lot of people panic and stuff. I don't want you actually to touch these. Leave this for degenerate peanut brains like me. Okay, mashed potato brains, don't know what I'm doing, sitting on a squeaky chair, pointy elbows, drinking 3 ice cube orange juice. Yes, all these jizz jazz, up, down, left, right. Leave that for me because we kind of know what we kind of do, what we're in for. I would rather you sit there collecting your nuts like a little squirrel off your tree. You're hanging around in your little wood house, eating wood. That's what squirrels do. When you look at this together, I want you to just think about the impermanent loss I talked to you about, okay? Once you enter these yield farms, the counter starts. You're like, okay, in the future, these things are going to pump. So I'm expecting a loss in the future. That's what I was talking about here. You know, you're expecting a 12% loss in the future. So you can't go gamble on your wins. You have a debt to pay. This is the best way I can put it to you, okay? The best metaphor is Once you are in this, you have a debt to pay. D-E-T-T debt. All right? You are in debt. You're in debt to the ratio. And it's going to happen in the future. You can escape unscathed, but most of the time, most people, they stay a little too long. So rotate your INC every day, right? That's what you're going to do. So when you go into the exchange, okay, you get your INC every day. You can harvest your INC. Maybe you'll get like, I don't know, some of you get like 5 a week. It'll be nice. Wow, you made 5 INC in the week. See, this is still great, people. Just look, 5 INC today will get you 5,000 hex. I can smell a world where hex is $2, man. So I just want you to think, every time you click that button and you do this, and you don't think, oh, it's just 5,000 hex, it's worth nothing today. You got to think in 2025 December, man. That is 10 grand potential in your wallet, or 5 grand at least, minimum 5K. So yes, you say what? So you know, like let's say you start on a Sunday, next Sunday hits, you click the button, you go, wow, I got 5,000 hex extra. You're like, yes, I made an extra 5 grand. And then next week, another 5,000 hex. That's an extra 5K. Maybe you get lucky enough, you get an extra like 25,000 hex out of this. That is absolutely wonderful. That's an extra 25K because you clicked some buttons on the internet. And look, it might even get more juicy. It's potential, right? That Pulse does like 100x from here. So yeah, so instead of, see this $153, yeah, maybe it's 15K in the future. Maybe that's why I said to you, right? It's potentially possible that Pulse outperforms Hex. Maybe Hex only does a 33x from here, and maybe Pulse does a 100x because it's a cycle 1 coin. You know what? You don't have to pick. You can just get all of them. Collect them like Pokemon. It's a Richard Hart ecosystem. Everything's going great. We're all backed by the same treasury. We all have the same spear. But now you know what to do. You now see my ticks of approval, okay? There are going to be more coins. Okay, there are going to be more coins. They're going to be the eToken to pToken coins. Okay, eToken to pToken. They are coming. They will be ultra dangerous, but man, they're going to be sexy and fun, friends. Oh, man. So you're going to have Ethereum link. People are going to bridge that in, and Ricardo's probably going to give yield if people want to gamble and put the P link. And you know what? I get messaged every day in Telegram. People publicly call me out and they go, you're a stupid peanut brain. No one's ever going to do this. I go, yeah, try me. Try me. I dare you. You want to take a bet? I'll bet you 50K they'll do this. I'll bet you 100K. No matter what it is, I will bet you any amount of money that the degenerates are going to come in and do this. Okay? Every single token that you think has use case and that has a community and proper founders, 99% of them are actually full of poop. People are there for the green candles. See, you already know this, right? But they think, no, supply chains are sexy. No, we sponsored a chess tournament and we're going to change the world. No, you don't. No one cares. You're here for the green candles. And they want the yield. They want the number go up. Okay? So when this happens, we're going to have some weird stuff happening, friends. You're going to see some weird stuff. And you know what would be funny? If someone binds the valueless USDT tether with the Ethereum bridged one, and people just freaking farm it. I'm telling you, weird stuff's gonna happen. Luckily, we have bleeding edge. You like, subscribe, bell button, all. We've gone all through this. I'm gonna wait for this E-Link and P-Link and all this other stuff to come because, look, I'll be honest, it might even be worth. Take some lottery money. Do you remember? Remember we talked about a while ago. We talked about, okay, you have like 90% core. 90% core and 10% lottery, okay? Well, I'm actually considering now, screw those lotteries, freaking rotate them in and just punt on some super sick, high-yield random farms. Maybe it's a SHIB community. Maybe it's a Chainlink community. Maybe it's all of them. Maybe it's a few of these big ones that end up voting high yields. So but Richard is not going to give high yield to just everybody. It has to be a community that's worth it, that's worth the investment. So this might be exciting for us to just participate. But remember, it's lottery money, all right? We don't need to play in the lottery. You know, everybody who has these tokens, eTokens, pTokens, they are actually poopy heads. They don't have Hex. They don't have Pulse. They don't have PulseX. They're not in our ecosystem. They want to come in because they're realizing they're getting destroyed. Okay, so we're going backwards if we start looking at eToken and pToken. All right. You are already driving a Ferrari and then you're watching somebody on a little girl's tricycle. Okay. You don't want to go there. Okay. They're trying to come to us. We're the cool kids. All right. So I hope I make myself clear. You're a baby doll, baby cake. We've gone through all these farms. We're going to keep updating you because you deserve it. Okay. Tell mom and dad that you love them because I did today. Catch you in the next one.